So, really excited today to be speaking to Aurore, the lovely Aurore, who's a hypnotherapist and a relationship coach as well. And we are going to be talking about how women manage building a business. And if you don't know who I am already, then my name's Maria and I am a communication and mindset coach. I'm also an NLP practitioner as well. And let's get started, Aurora. So we're both on our journeys together, and I really want to zone into that identity. I think identity is really important because, we can, like we moms, you know, um, for some women might have a career that they're juggling as well. They might have, like caring responsibility for parents. How do we really tune into our identity and really kind of like be able to step aside from them roles, take the hats off, and really like tune into who we actually are beneath all those roles in order to find our calling, our strength, our passion for building a business. What would you say?
Well, I think first and foremost is to recognize what is it that we want out of life. What is it that we want to achieve 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, and really be honest with ourselves in terms of where am I right now? What sort of identity do I have? Whether I am the one who is simply a carer. And I say simply because that's the sort of identity somebody, in the example you gave is having. So where are you now is the most important question you want to ask yourself. And I think before that you want to ask yourself, how do I want my life to look like? Let's say a
Mm,
year from now. Because if we're not ambitious, it's fine. If we're not aspirational, that's fine as well. But being honest with what is it that I'm really desiring, what is it that I want to experience, because life is an experience, right? And when we look at the identity is, you according to what you identify or how you identify yourself with, you will get a particular sort of experience. So yeah, those two questions are
absolutely.
very important. Yeah.
And, I think it's so easy as well for us to get so caught up in the journey of building a business that we can lose sight of other areas that are important to us, like our relationships,
Mhm.
our, time to self-care, our health.
Yeah.
And yet, if we don't have our health, we don't have anything really, because, if we're not eating the right foods, if we're not exercising, and it's easy for us to take the foot off the pedal because we get overwhelmed, we got so much to get done, and it's easy to compromise the walk, to be working, to pick the easiest food that is unhealthy, and then, we go through these periods of eating the wrong foods, not exercising, but that has an impact to our mental health then, because it
Yeah.
makes us tired, sluggish. It makes us feel less than because we're in low mood, low spirit as well. And so I feel that health is got to be one of the priorities for women. And especially if you're a woman in your 40s, in your 50s, that have got a lot of changes going on, hormonal changes as well, that's going to add to the mood, the weight, to the thought process, to the feeling, the confidence. I mean,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts, Aurora?
Oh, well, I think when we hit our 30s, 40s, late 30s and 40s, we go through the midlife crisis, all of us. And the midlife crisis is it simply gets us to say, what I've been suppressing for 10 years, 20 years, has to come out in a particular sort of way. And a lot of the time, especially when it comes to relationship, there's a fallout or there's a
Mm.
sort of disconnect that happens. We are so grateful we are living in a period where we know a lot about neuroplasticity. We have a much, much better understanding about our body, about menopause, perimenopause, and what it does to us, the impact it has on our mental health, on our body. So this awareness in itself is amazing. But what action do we take? Right.
Mm.
And especially as entrepreneur and we get into, doing our business, what I found that has worked for me is after many struggles is to stick to a routine, right? Being disciplined enough to stick to a routine and not only that, but having compassion. Because for me, I just cannot bring myself to getting up at 5 o'clock. It's probably a mindset thing, but at the same time, I also need my sleep, and I'd have a tendency to go to bed at 11 or midnight. So I recognize that I need my sleep. So I wake up around about 7. So for me, that's that having compassion to say, okay, there's no not feeling ashamed or not feeling guilty that I can't get up at that
Mm.
time.
I can
Um,
resonate.
yeah, but then also saying, okay, when I get up, I do my walk, I do my qigong, if I'm pronouncing it well. But I do them and I love that routine. And I do my affirmations in the morning, which is very important to me. But I want to go back a bit to this identity because when I started my journey into, oh my goodness, this is all me, I'm doing something completely alien that I'm not used to. And I had to initially I did not take it on, but there was that element of identity. How do I identify myself with? And I did experience problem with my legs. It started with my right leg and then my left leg. Now it's fine. They're both fine. And it came with some element of fear and it came also with, owning a new identity. So health is very important. And by that time, I already went through my own perimenopause journey. So, and it added to my anger issues that was blowing out of proportion that I had to get a head on. I had to redress that, and I'm glad I did. But we go through so much, especially as
Mm.
women. And the shame associated with it, shame, oh my gosh, I'm letting myself down, I'm letting other people down. There's the responsibility that we have. And because, as you said, we do so much, we don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
we don't know where to start, when to stop,
Mm.
and not giving ourselves time to care for ourselves. And it can
Yeah.
really take the body can take a hit, the mental health can take a hit, and that's why taking break from time to time is so important
Mm.
because we need it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think it's important if you are watching this right now or you are listening to this right now, that you realize that you're not alone because I think it's so easy to get caught up in the fact that you're going through challenges. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed with the work in your business. Maybe you're seeing other people doing amazing things and questioning your ability. Maybe the walk hasn't happened today. Maybe you've got up late today. Maybe everything that's going on in your personal life as well, maybe with children and family you know, is not good at the moment as well, and you're struggling with those areas. Maybe you've put weight on and you're thinking, gosh, like this, I just do not know where to start. I think it's important that you take a step back. Just start with 5 or 10 minutes every day of just connecting with yourself as somebody that makes time for themselves because you're so important and the whole system around you, your family, your children, your loved ones cannot operate as they do without you. So unless you put your oxygen mask on first of all, give yourself, the clarity that you're not alone. because we all experience this, we all go through this, that you're not alone. And then just spend those 5 or 10 minutes. And Aurora, there's a task that I use, and it's just brain dumping. And I'll just go into a room where it's quiet, I'm not going to be disturbed, and play some Zen music, which is just calming instrumental music. Maybe it's a soundscape of water flowing, and I will just write, brain dump whatever comes to my mind, and my thoughts are coming out. And I brain dump simply because my brain doesn't have time to discriminate against it. So it's a very powerful tool. But yeah, my message to you, if you're going for this now, you're definitely not alone. And Aurora, do you want to add to that? Do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think having a sense of community is so important.
Mm,
Like for me, and this work is quite lonely, right? Even though you get to speak to people, but most of the time when you have to do various parts in the business, it's a lonely journey. So reaching out, meeting people in person is so important. Whether it is for physical activities, which I think for me is a big must,
mm,
doing physical activities, but also something that is nice, relaxing, and gets you grounded.
mm,
Is equally very, very important because it brings you down to you getting inside and feeling really grounded. Because
mm.
when we feel grounded, we have more control over, okay, what's my next step?
Yeah,
Right. So
yeah.
that's very important.
No, thank you, Aurora. Thank you for your time today, and spending this time with me to help other women out there. I appreciate your time, and hopefully we'll see you
Thank
soon.
you. Thank you so much for having me, Maria.
Thank you.